What is going on, my camping friends? In this video I'm going to show you how to drain your black water and your gray water tank. Some of the things you're going to need to do that, and also you're going to need this if you're going camping every weekend, or if you're going full-time camping, is you're going to need a sewer hose to hook to your camper. This comes with it. You may need one of these. This is what you're going to lay your hose down on so you can get a nice, it'll drain nice from your camper to the sewer. And you're going to want some tablets to drop into your black water tank. That would be after you drain your black water tank. You want to drop one of these in or two of these in. You can either have this or you could have some liquid. I got both liquid and the little tablet things. So one or the other. And I also have some tablets that I put in my gray water tank, just keeps it fresh. And maybe some disposable gloves. And if you're camping at places that don't have a full hookup, you may want a tote, a sewer tote to drain all your black and gray water in, just in case you're camping there too long and you have to drain this before you decide to leave, so you don't have to pull your whole camper out and drain it and put it back in. You might want one of these. Get that out of the way. Show you how this works when you set up at a campground. Make sure your valves are shut. There should be a black valve for the black tank and a gray valve for the gray tank. For some reason you got the same color valves. See, this is a lot bigger pipe. That's coming out of my black tank. And my gray tank is a lot smaller one. So just in case yours are the same color. And these are the valves. Mine is black and gray. Okay, if you're at a full hookup, you should already have this hooked up. If you're not at a full hookup, you're gonna want to make sure your valves are shut. You're gonna hook your hose. There should be maybe 2 or 4 of these on your hose. I bought a better hose. I also suggest that to buy a good hose. Mine's a Rhino. And there's little tabs here that these little things connect to. Hook that on there like that. And this end is going to go into the sewer if you're at a full hookup. And if you're not at a full hookup, I'll put a picture here in your right hand side of the video of what it's going to look like if you're like stopping at a dump station. It's all real similar. I'll show you how this all goes in. So you hook that to there. And then this is for, you'll have this in here if you're at your full hookup. Just like that, if you get the point. You take this end and you hook it into the sewer. And if you're at a full hookup, you're gonna see your sewer just like this. There should normally be a cap on it. Take the cap off. Take this piece that came with your hose, hopefully. Just screw that in a little bit. You don't gotta get all crazy, because it's a pain to get out if you screw that in too tight. That's screwed in just a little bit. Doesn't gotta be real tight, like I said. And you're gonna take this, and there's little tabs on this. This will get connected into that. And that'll stay like that while you're at your full hookup. Now let me show you how to dump these. So you're either gonna be connected into that, or if you're not at a full hookup and you need to dump your tanks, you can either pull your camper to the dump station, like I said, and I'll show you a picture here, what they all, most of them all look like. Or if you have one of these plastic tanks like I have, you can just hook this tank up. Just like that. And then once you fill this tank up, you can pull this tank over with your truck and dump that into the dump station at the campground, just in case you don't want to pull your entire camper to the dump station. If this is at the end of your weekend from camping, it's a lot easier just to go to the dump station and dump. But I got 2 kids and a wife, sometimes I have to dump before my weekend's over, unless I do a long weekend, maybe 4 days. I'll normally have to dump before my 4 days is up. I'll put it into my plastic tote and I'll drag it over. Okay, so you're hooked up, and this is all the same if you're hooked up like this to this tote, or you're at the dump station, or you're at a full hookup. I suggest renting a full hookup. That's the best way. It normally only costs $5 or $10 more to get a full hookup, I think. Put that down in the comments if you agree with that. Okay, so you got that hooked up. The first tank you're going to want to dump will be your black tank. That tank, only thing that should be going into your black tank is your toilet. So that's your toilet water. That's the yucky water. That's why I have gloves on. So you dump that. And leave your gray one closed while that dumps. Okay, once you hear that really slow down or stop, shut your valve. And before I dump my gray tank, I normally like to go in, if I have time, and fill up my toilet a couple times and put a little more water in there just to flush that tank out good. I also plan on making a video on how to clean that. I'm going to use a couple different cleaners just to show you which one works better. And I'm going to make a video on how to clean the roof of my camper with a couple different cleaners. So put down in the comments what cleaners you think work the best. Okay, you come inside, fill your toilet up, fill it up, dump it. Fill it up. Might want to do this 2 or 3 times. This is just to help get that tank cleared out a little bit, cleaned out a little bit. Alright, I'm going to do it too. Another thing is, you also, when you're all done with this, make sure you leave a little bit of water there in your toilet. It helps keep that seal wet and not get dried out. Okay, you got your black tank flushed and you filled it up a couple more times. So you're going to want to open that back up and dump that out. That'll get that cleaned out a little better. Okay, when you got your black tank totally drained out, now this is why I do my gray tank second. My gray tank should just be my soapy water from the sink and the soapy water from your shower. So you dump that second. That's going to clean out this pipe a little bit. And if you still have this hooked to your camper, it's going to clean this sewer hose out. I normally on just like a Friday night and a Saturday night, Friday night, Saturday night, we leave Sunday with my 2 kids and my wife. I normally only have to dump this black tank 1 time. But a lot of times I got to dump my gray tank a little bit before the weekend's over. So that's why I like to have a full hookup, so I can easily just dump a little bit of that water out. But don't dump all the water out of that gray tank, because at the end of your weekend, you're going to want to be able to flush your hose out after you're done draining your black tank. You always want to leave a little water in that gray tank. Okay, while that's continuing dumping. If you're at a dump station, you're not going to have water hooked to your camper, so you're not going to be able to use your toilet to fill that back up. So like I said, there's normally a hose at a dump station. So you're going to take a 5-gallon bucket, fill this bucket up with about 4.5 gallons, whatever you think you can handle and not spill all over the place. Fill that up with water, and you're going to want to take that inside and dump it into your toilet. If I'm at a dump station and there's a whole line of cars behind me, I normally don't do that second flushing of my black tank. All right, I think that gray's done. All right, once you got them all drained, you can unhook all of this. You're going to be unhooking that tote, or you're going to be unhooking your sewer hose. Okay, once you get your black tank and your gray tank all empty, and your camping weekend is finished, you're going to want to take one of these packets, or about 2 ounces of that, 2 ounces of the liquid. I usually just fill that up a little. Just fill that up a little bit down there if you have liquid. I don't really measure that, but you're going to want to take this packet, throw it in there like that. Like I said, when you're done, you're going to still want about 5 gallons in that black tank to drive home with. So you can either fill up your toilet or fill that 5-gallon bucket up. Fill this up once, dump it, and fill it up again. Now if you have a 5-gallon bucket, you could probably just fill that up once. Dump that. So you put that in your black tank. And like I said, if you want, you can take some of these. These go in the gray water. It says right there, gray water deodorizer. You can put one of them. Just put it down here in your sink and run some water over it, and it will dissolve. This is where my sewer hose gets stored in my camper, in my bumper. You're either probably going to have it in your bumper, or some people have a plastic pipe attached underneath their camper somewhere where they just store that in. All right, that's it. That's how you flush your gray water and your black water tanks. Just remember, you keep both your valves closed, and you're going to have that your sewer pipe is going to be hooked up to your camper, and it's going to either go to your plastic tote when you dump, or it's going to go to the sewer at your campsite when you dump. And if you didn't get a full hookup, like I said, I recommend just getting a full hookup. It's the nicest way. You can take your time dumping. There's nobody sitting behind you. And you don't feel rushed if you have a full hookup. So you either got the tote, or you got the sewer at your campsite, or you're going to the dump station. At the end of the camping weekend normally is when I would go there if it's just a weekend. So you dump your black water first, get that all dumped, shut the valve, then you dump your gray water, and then you shut that. And before I dump my gray water, sometimes I like to fill my toilet up like I showed you, and put a couple things. If you're sitting at your campground, you can fill your toilet up. If you're at a dump station, you're gonna just have to fill a 5-gallon bucket and put some water in that at the end, and let that swish around while you drive home. And then the next time you go camping, you'll be able to dump that out. That just helps anything from building up in there. I made some notes, make sure I do not forget anything. I think I said it throughout the video, but definitely just make sure only poo, pee, and RVTP. Poo, pee, and RVTP. Nothing else in your toilet. Oh, another thing is, I like to, throughout my camping weekend, at least I do. I know not anybody else in my family does, but when I flush the toilet, I like to give a nice long flush so you get a little bit more water in that black tank. That's going to make that easier to drain everything out of there. And I'm doing this last video inside my camper because I just want to show you, if you have to go to a dump station, normally you're going to shut your camper up. When I shut my camper up, this is my door to my bathroom, and I can't get back in there. So before you shut your camper up, make sure you open your door completely so you can get in there, because unless you're really, really skinny, my door's like open this much. Hopefully you can see that in this video. So I don't know how your camper's laid out, but mine, if I don't open that before I shut my camper up, I can't get back in my bathroom. Yeah, just another thing, if you've got to go to the dump station, make sure you have that 5-gallon bucket kind of ready. Normally me and my wife, I'll be dumping and she'll be filling that 5-gallon bucket, so we're ready to put that 5-gallon bucket of water in my toilet at the end before I'm driving away, so we're not holding up traffic. And most of the campgrounds I go to now, sometimes if I do have to go to the dump station, they have so many full hookups that there's usually not a lot of people at the dump station. Do not forget to leave your valve shut until it's ready, until it's time to dump. I leave my valve shut all weekend until I go to dump, unless, like I said, my gray tank sometimes fills up before my weekend's over, and I will go out and dump some of that water out, not the whole thing. And another thing, your little gauges you got in your camper, if you bought a brand new camper, you're going to be lucky that them gauges work maybe your first few times camping, and then don't get upset when they stop working. I guess you can take it back because it has a warranty. You can see if they'll fix it, but my gauges have not worked, I don't know, since I've started using this camper. My gray water kind of works and my fresh water kind of works, but my black water gauge, I don't think that's worked hardly at all since the first couple times camping. All right, and then the last thing you're going to want to do after you've dumped and put everything away, wash your hands or use some hand sanitizer. All right, that's about it. I hope this video helped you out. Please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel to help support me. God bless and have a great time camping.